Okay then, you silly sausages. We've got more stuff right now. Hope you're enjoying what you've watched so far. I think we're up around, well, I cheat a bit. I do cheat a bit. So we're up around 100 videos, and 2/3 of them are just like little bits of the bigger videos. That doesn't really count. So let's say 33. So this is number 33. I don't know if it is. It'll be around that. Here's a question. Brand loyalty or laziness? You ever thought of that? Sometimes I like to go for walks if it isn't raining, and occasionally those walks have a purpose. My bank of 15 years sent me a letter the other day demanding to know who I am, or eventually they'll close my account. I have money in that account. I called them and asked what I needed to do, and a child came on the phone after the computer person and told me to take a selfie of myself and my passport and send it to them via their software. Then they told me it didn't work and I needed to go to a local branch of the bank and show them who I am. And the below script is what happened. Okay, well, we'll just talk about the scenario a little bit because I'm quite angry about it. Yeah, right. So apparently every 5 years, if you've got a business account, one of the things you have to do is you have to prove who you are again. So, you know, there's no kind of fraud stuff going on. You know, is it still really you? And I'm like, I'm really here, you know.
Yeah.
But they make it horrific. So it starts off with a letter that you have to fill in, and they're asking you loads of questions like, well, you know, what will you do with the money when you've earned it, kind of stuff. And I'm like, well, whatever I bloody want after I've paid the tax, you know. So it's all a bit, that's shonky as far as I'm concerned. But they hide behind a 5-year thing. Oh, we can't, you know, we have to do it. So I send that to them. That's all in the post. I send that. And then I get something back saying, we didn't like all of your answers. So I'm like, okay, well, what? So call this number, which is a number you have to pay to call.
Oh my God.
Oh, well, there it is.
So, well, exactly, there it is. And so I call them. And honestly, right, why do they find people who should never be on a phone to anybody? The person I got, really spoke like that. And honestly sounded about 12. I did it better than they could do it, right? That was better them than they are them. And
ouch.
Yeah. So I wasn't happy. I said that as well. You're not built for phones.
Did you say I can do a better you than you can?
I didn't say those exact words, but I implied it. And I think by the end of the conversation, they were certain that I was better at them than they were. So they said, right, I answered a few more questions, and they said, okay, I get you now, I understand it now. Okay, fine. So we were past that point. I was like, oh, good, can we get this thing to go away now? Oh no, well, we just need a picture of your passport and a selfie of your face. Do it now and send it to this website, and there you go. Now, first of all, if you've ever tried to take a picture of the relevant bit of your passport, it's horrendous, because unless you travel so much that your passport just flops open on that page,
it's stiff.
It's like, you know, it's like that scene in Pretty Woman, you know, when he shuts the jewellery case on her hand, which was improvised, by the way. Really, not a lot of people know that, Michael Caine. And so you're like holding the thing open, trying to, and doing this, it's rubbish, but you get it in the end, but you're like on the phone with these people while you're doing it, so it's terrible. And they're going, "Are you done it yet? Is it ready? Are you ready yet?" Like that. Yeah, I'm doing it. Yeah, at best. Yeah, it was that level. Yeah, it was more or less. If they just said me, I'd have done as well. So we're doing that, and then they say, oh, it didn't work, and I'm like, well, do you want to try again? Because I've done everything. No, you'll have to go to a branch. I've been to a branch twice. This is the first time. This thing here is the first time. I could write about the second time. I'm not going to get into it.
Which one was more traumatizing? Probably the first.
It's fairly equal. The second I got to sit down for longer. So that was an improvement.
Okay.
But you were there for longer then, presumably, the second time.
Yeah.
But it was an infuriating thing the second time. Losing context for people a little bit, but I'm sure they'll keep up. The second time they basically said, "Oh, you didn't need to come in."
Oh, ow.
No,
That's why
don't
that was.
say that.
That's
Don't
why that
say
was
that.
annoying. That's why that was annoying. And that was the second branch I'd been to that day, and the first branch I'd been to that day didn't have any chairs, and they said, "What are you doing here?" in a kind of polite way. It wasn't like, "What are you doing here?" Because it was open. I hadn't broken in, and I said, "Oh, I need to see somebody about this. Just get this thing over the line by proving who I am, right?" And they were like, "Oh, well, you have to book an appointment with a business manager, and they all work from home now, but there is one in November."
Great.
I'm like, "Are you even trying anymore? Are you even trying anymore?"
And it was raining the first time, and
No,
was it? Oh,
no, it wasn't raining either time.
Oh.
That would have been beyond the pale.
That would have been.
I wouldn't have gone out.
Yeah.
So we have.
See, I also read that as sometimes I like to go for walks if it isn't raining.
Yeah.
And the indication
Oh
was...
no!
This was a miserable
Sorry.
walk, it was raining.
No, that was
stand up.
That was a general comment on when I like to go for walks. I would not have done this. I do not need to help my bank that much that I would go walking in the rain to solve this problem. Had I been forced to do that, my God, they'd have felt it.
Oh, yeah.
Business,
Yeah.
just write off the business account if it's raining.
Yeah, I'd definitely leave them. I should leave them anyway, but there are reasons why you don't, which we cover in this. Okay, so we got three parts. We got me, we've got nice looking woman, and we've got bank lady. And we're going to go through the perspective of all of those three characters. So do you want to be me?
I'll be
I
you.
don't know. I don't want to be me.
I can
I
tackle
like
you.
time off when I can get it. Now, nice looking woman or bank lady?
Don't mind.
I chose last time, so.
I'll be bank lady because she's sassy.
Oh.
Yeah, she's, if you like, she's something. She's definitely something.
Snippy.
Yeah.
Snooty. Snotty. Okay, so nothing to say. Imagine that you're me. Imagine that you're a nice looking lady. Imagine that you're unbelievably lazy. Okay? And whenever you're ready, because you're first. His perspective first.
My nearest bank branch is about a mile away. Say branch?
Oh, me? So
Yeah, let's just say branch.
I'd probably say branch.
Branch.
I'm being a
Okay.
bit more southern.
My nearest bank branch is about a mile away, but it isn't a horrible walk. There are nice things to look at due to my financial status, which is healthy, even if my bank has forgotten who I am. It is mostly uphill, but I'm in good physical condition, so it's okay. It's just after 2 p.m. As I get near to the bank, a nice-looking woman walks past me. I follow her for a bit and notice the bank is on the other side of a busy road. I'd never been to this bank before. The nice-looking woman is also crossing the road just ahead of me. She actually then goes into my bank in front of me. I've been following her for around 5 minutes and I'm concerned she's noticed. This bank is small and horrible. There are short queues for 4 self-service machines, but I continue to the counters because I need to verify my identity, and you can't do that on the self-service machines. The nice-looking lady is still ahead of me, and she speaks to a bank lady behind the counter before I can.
Hello, hi, I need to show my ID to someone for the FCA.
That's what I need to do, I think to myself.
Sorry, this counter closes at 2. Only self-service after that.
I check the clock on my phone. 2:33 p.m. Fuck's sake, I say quietly. I leave because the nice-looking woman has stolen my thunder. I make sure to go in the opposite direction to her, otherwise it seems really weird. I swear some more about my bank.
Yeah. So that's probably the closest to the truth of the three. Only because that was me and I'm not those two people. Okay?
Oh, that makes sense.
Why
right.
were you following the lady in the beginning?
I wasn't.
going to the same place.
She happened to walk faster than me
okay.
for some reason, and then
Okay.
she went to the place I was going.
Okay, it just
My
wasn't
concern
that clear.
was that it seemed to her like I would be following her because it lasted a long time.
I see.
5 minutes, yeah.
But I can't be certain that she noticed. But I did make a point of making sure I went in the opposite direction to her at the end, so that she was certain I wasn't interested. Nice looking as she was, I didn't really know anything else about her. And you know, for me, looks are one thing, but personality is also important. Okay, so now we will do the scene from the perspective of the nice looking woman.
I've got lovely long brown hair and sunglasses and a raincoat, but a nice one.
It was.
I'm about 5'8" and in my early 30s. I'm going to the bank because they want my identity verified as an FCA requirement every 5 years, and it's really annoying. Is that man following me? I go into the bank and it's rubbish in here. All self-service. If no one is working, I'll be well annoyed. Oh, there's a lady behind the counter. Hello, I need to show my ID to someone for the FCA.
Sorry, this counter closes at 2 p.m. Only self-service after that.
Fuck's sake.
This bank is useless. I'd leave them, but there is nowhere else that will be better. What a sorry situation. Oh, that guy wasn't following me. Pity.
Yeah.
Oh, plot twist.
So, your assumption... No, never mind.
No, I mean, I think it's probably... Hey, look, I don't know that she definitely thought that, but I don't know. I think we've covered that I can't, like, my healthy financial status isn't necessarily apparent. My physical condition, I feel, is. So I think if I had been following her, she wouldn't have minded. So I don't follow people in an aggressive way.
But you do sound like you're quite disgruntled on this day.
Yeah, that's true. But hopefully she could tell it wasn't aimed at her. I think it's okay once you're in a bank. When you go into a bank, you realise like how awful it is. Like the world is really falling apart. You see, from the safety of my apartment and my life, you can watch the news and you can feel bad about things. But if you don't watch the news, I generally feel pretty good about things.
Yeah.
I just sort of go around going, everything's great. It's pretty cool, this is nice. You know, go. But you go to a bank and you realise it's not.
That's not nice.
Do you think everyone in the bank
Personal
assumes everyone else in the bank is in a
No.
bad mood?
What is it about a bank that's depressing?
Well, they've got a lot worse.
Because
Okay.
money is evil.
Well,
The bank is where evil money is.
I think I have a different perspective there. I think money is sort of necessary so that we don't get into a bartering system.
Yeah, that's a fair point, yeah.
So, no, they're just getting worse and worse. I mean, they're getting less and less personal. So you've just got the machines. These people stop at 2 o'clock. Right? What good is that to anybody?
And is this a weekday?
Yes.
Oh, unbelievable.
So the only thing you can do between, like, the place shuts at 4:30, which is a bit of a Mickey take in itself, very old-fashioned Mickey take, because I think banks should be open after people are at work. You can only use self-service from 2 to 4:30, right? So you're only on the machines then, and at best there's somebody there saying, "Hello, can I help you?" And you explain what you need, and they go, "We can't help you." So, hello, can I help you? Right, 50% of the time. Hello, can I help you? 50% of the time. No, I can't help you. So I suppose the question isn't wrong. Hello, can I help you? No.
But then 25% of the time, of the remaining time, is try one of these
Try
machines.
one of these machines. This will do it for you. And then he just sort of hangs back, just like, you know. Maybe if you get it
my
wrong.
day's wages earned.
Yeah. Maybe if you get it wrong, then like he might go, and then like press something so you can have another go. But it's dismal. It's dismal. And this was dismal. Right, finally then, the perspective of the bank lady.
Gosh, it's been a long day. I started at 10:30 and now it's 2:30. Luckily, we shut the counter as soon as we finished our leisurely lunch. Look at those tossers queuing for the self-service machines. I shouldn't laugh about it. In a few years, I'll be made redundant. The package will be very small and I'm essentially unemployable at my age. Anyway, basically, I'll just swivel in this chair until I go home at 4:30, telling people the counter is closed. Here's one now.
Hello, hi. I need to show my ID to someone for the FCA.
Sorry, this counter closes at 2 p.m. Only self-service after that. I guess that attractive man in his early middle age, or technically latter youth, wanted counter service too. Bad luck, guys. No one does any work anymore. Least of all me.
Yeah. Evil bitch. Evil.
I mean, evil's probably a strong word.
You know. Well,
You really assume that this
Yeah.
person has the worst intentions
Yeah.
imaginable.
well, I've walked all the way there, and they've done, and they haven't even, they've swatted away the person in front of me in such a fashion that I know I won't get different treatment.
You've been like swatted by osmosis of the first swat.
Oh.
If they're prepared to tell a nice-looking lady to get lost, which they did in a roundabout way, I'm not going to be able to compete with that.
Wow, you're an attractive.
Well, it's true. I
you
mean,
wrote
what-
here
how did
that
she
you're
describe it?
Attractive.
Attractive.
She
man in his
described it, in
early
your
middle
words, as an attractive man in his early middle age or technically latter youth.
Yeah, I don't really know where the line is there, so I think I kind of, I just kind of, you
Yeah.
know, you can never really be sure where it starts. I had a friend once who, we were talking about when does middle age start, and he said 30. I said that's
Oh, wow.
No,
far
Bold.
too young.
I think
Sounds
middle age
far
these
too-
days starts at 60.
Yeah, right. So this,
Yeah.
so technically latter youth then, for me.
There you go.
Yeah.
There we go. When does old age start? If middle age starts at
Well,
60.
life expectancy is getting longer and longer,
Mm.
isn't it? So I
Yeah.
think old age is now like 100.
Yeah. At least,
So
at least
nearly-
late 90s. Yeah.
Yeah.
So almost nobody is ever old.
You don't get old until...
I'd say
Until you start
maybe
acting
80,
old.
80.
Old age is at 80. So you can.
Yeah.
Maybe.
So 78 is middle age.
Yeah, late middle age. Yeah.
So.
I'm closer to it than you are, but I think you've.
I think latter youth is right on the money.
Okay. No, I'm happy to take it, particularly if I've got another flipping 18 years of it or something. Great.
You're 60 years old.
In 18 years.
Oh, I see. I thought you meant you were 78.
Now. I mean, this doesn't. You'd have to be watching earlier. Now, if I was 60 years old and had been a child star in the 90s, okay, well, actually, probably if I was 60, a child star in the 70s, and you then saw a picture of me now, and I was 60, but I looked like this, you would be surprised, I think.
Right.
You would say, 60? 60?
If you looked like this, but you were 60,
Mm-hmm.
and you were a child star in the 70s.
Yes.
Yeah, I'd be surprised.
Yeah.
Yeah, see? So,
Because child star in the 70s, that's like a death sentence.
I mean, that.
just to be alive,
Wow.
and to be alive and looking this good, yeah, that's that
Yeah.
is surprising. So yeah, latter youth. So no, okay, maybe she's not evil, but she does have a self-awareness that she's about to get canned, which I think is me taking liberties.
You seem to revel, the writing revels in it a little bit, you know.
Yeah, I think that's me taking liberties a bit in the script because I don't think she would have that self-awareness. She's so complacent that she would never think that this fun would end, where she could just get rid of people after 2 p.m.
What made you think
rightfully-
she was complacent?
Well, I think there is a complacency when everything is shutting down around you and you're like last woman standing. The idea that, well, it will never happen to me. Like they've sacked all your friends.
Everyone else's machines now. Yeah.
You just,
I'd say denial, maybe.
yeah, a bit of that.
You know.
Yeah, a bit of that. So all your friends, you've been at the bank for 20 years and you had 5 people alongside you. And over those years, just they got salami sliced away along the counter. And they're leaving you, which means you're probably better than they were, which is saying something.
So everyone that gets chopped, you're like better than them.
I'm like,
better than
well, I
them.
do a better job than them. But they become a machine.
Yeah.
I mean, not actually, but a machine does what they do. And you find that it's just you and the machines.
Oh.
And to think
Wow.
in that situation, well, this far and no further.
Yeah, well, yeah, that has
That
to
is
be
complacency.
one human.
That is complacency.
It's arrogant.
Yeah.
So again, maybe overboard with evil, but arrogant.
Undeniable.
Arrogant and self-aware, which is very rare that you get both.
She sounds like a fascinating woman.
I mean, you got a lot from her from one line
Yeah.
in real life.
Look, maybe there's been some artistic license. I imagine that if I were to go and find that lady again, it might not be that interesting. But look, I should definitely take my money out of this bank. I hate them, and they are clearly in terminal decline. Why do we stay? Is loyalty just another word for laziness these days? Is it? Is loyalty just another word for laziness these days? That's not really I'm not changing the definition. But if we go back to the very beginning and we just make a quick straw poll, brand loyalty or laziness, should I leave them? It's going to be hassle, and the places that I would leave them for are going to be as bad. But is that laziness on my part, or is it a kind of brand loyalty?
I think. Should we do a hand up so we're not swayed?
Okay.
So, hands up for laziness.
Yeah, because I'm saying with my bank because I'm lazy, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's easy,
Yeah.
It's easy. You know it. You know the format. You know the colours.
and the assumption
Feels
that
like
everywhere
home.
else will be as bad based on nothing.
They are saved by the fact that their competition is also rubbish.
But that's an assumption, isn't it? Like, what are you if you don't bank with them? How do you know?
You know, everybody complains about it, and they all go to different places.
Yeah, so everywhere's rubbish.
Everywhere's rubbish. If one of them happened to be good, they just, over time, because there is a bit of, like you suggested there is a period of time where no one will believe that one of them's good, and they'll have to experience it, and eventually it will kind of filter through into the psyche. But like they actually start putting people back in the bank branches, and they're actually kind of not pleased to get rid of you, and all of that kind of stuff. And when that starts to happen, eventually it'll osmosis, it'll kind of permeate, and you go, I think that one's better than mine. And then people will act. It will take 5 years.
Because no one ever comes, you never sit down with someone in a pub and they're like, I had a lovely time at the bank.
Yeah.
Like the day someone sits down and says, I had a lovely time at the bank yesterday.
Who do you bank with?
Exactly. I'm changing. I'm in. I'm joining.
Do you know how easy it would be to do the job that would get someone in the pub to say that? I'm honestly telling you, I think that would be easy. I think if you came into the bank and you were greeted in a really friendly way, and you were shown to the person that you needed to talk to, and they were just really good. They weren't worried about you. They were like, oh, you're in loads of debt. It doesn't matter. We'll help. We can fix it. It's okay. The interest rate is this, but we have to make money somewhere. But we won't.
Bit of
apologise.
shame. Bit of
humanity.
Yeah, a bit of humanity.
Listen, we're running a business. We also have to make money. Sorry about that.
Yeah.
I think that's actually just complete.
Openness.
You've had that experience, right? You've had that experience. Then you
Humanity.
go and see your friend in the pub, right? 10 minutes later, an hour later, you go, do you know what? This hasn't happened to me in a long time, maybe ever. I was in the bank. It was really good. Everyone was really nice.
Oh, I was in the bank just now. Just now? What do you mean? It's 6:30. The banks all close at 4:30.
Yeah, exactly.
There it is.
Well, it's shut, isn't it? Not mine.
No.
Not mine. 24-hour bank.
And I had a pint in there with them.
They have a pub in the
Brilliant.
pub.
Oh
in the
my
bank.
God! Is that the way to do it? Is that the way to do it?
I think they could do that. I think a pub in the bank. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sit down, pour a pint with the teller, and then tell me what's going on. How can I help?
Open up a tab in the bar.
Yeah,
Right.
I'd be
Easily done.
I'd be loyal to that brand.
absolutely.
So
That's not laziness.
That's not laziness.
That's good sense.
No. So we can overcome laziness by doing a good job. That's the key. So if you're a bank and you're watching this, that's how you hoover up all the customers in Britain. If you actually want them, because that's my only worry, you don't actually want them, because all the signals that you're sending out are saying to me, we don't want these people anymore. Okay? And maybe that's why there's It's not brand loyalty and it's laziness. Don't rely on laziness. Don't rely on laziness.